All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. We're going to be taking a look today. Well, if you clicked play, chances are you're thinking about selling your house right. And you want to do it, well, you want to do it quickly and easily.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. And specifically, we're talking about Sugar Land, Texas.
Right.
If you happen to be in that area. And we're going to be diving deep into how you can sell your home fast, hassle-free, cash.
Cash.
So we like to hear, right? And all the information we're going over today is coming from Sell That House to Me.
Yep.
And if you're like, all right, you got me, let's do it, you can go to sellthathousetomet.com right now.
Do it.
Get that process started. But maybe you want a little bit more info before you just jump right in.
Sure. Let's dive in a little bit.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah. So Sugar Land, it's a really lovely upscale suburb just southwest of Houston.
Yeah.
And it's got a really rich history going all the way back to the 1830s.
Wow.
Fort Bend County. It's known for its amazing shopping, and its schools are incredible. So,
wow. I mean, yeah,
it's a desirable place to live.
It's a hot spot.
That's right.
So, I mean, that has to affect real estate, right?
Of course. So, as of early 2025, we're seeing median home prices around $480,000.
Yeah.
And on average, they're spending between 45 and 65 days on the market. So it's a healthy market.
Yeah.
It's just that, even in a healthy market, selling your house can take time.
It does.
Sometimes time is not a luxury that you have.
Absolutely.
That's really the core of the issue that Sell That House to Me solves.
Right. So it's great if you can wait.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't.
Right.
You need to move quickly. You need that cash in hand.
Yeah.
So what does Sell That House to Me? How do we solve that problem?
So it's pretty simple. We cut out all the middlemen.
Great.
And we just buy your house with cash.
Okay.
And that really just removes the need for you to go out there and list the property.
Yeah.
Try to find a buyer
who
has to, go through the process of getting financing, deal with mortgage approvals, and all the uncertainty that just comes along with that whole traditional route.
The back and forth, the waiting.
All of it.
The hoping.
We just get rid of it.
Okay.
We like to keep things simple.
All right. So say I'm in Sugar Land. I'm like, all right, those 45 to 65 days, I don't have it.
Nope.
What do I do? What's the first step?
All right. Step one, super easy. Reach out to us at Sell That House to Me.
Okay.
You can go to our website, sellthathousetome.com.
Right.
Or you can just give us a call. We're happy to talk to you.
Okay.
From there, we'll just figure out the easiest way to gather the information we need about your property. So that might involve, us swinging by for a quick visit.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's easier for you if you just provide all that information remotely.
Whatever works.
Whatever's most convenient for you.
And then what? Let's say we've had our little chat.
Yeah.
I've told you about my beautiful Sugar Land home.
Okay.
What's next?
So once we have all the info that we need about the house, and we've taken a good look at what's going on in the Sugar Land real estate market,
okay,
we're going to give you a cash proposal.
Okay.
And this is completely no obligation.
Oh, okay.
And it's based on the as-is condition of your property.
Right.
And, we pride ourselves on really knowing the local market values.
Sure.
And making sure that, we give you a fair offer. And this is the offer. Yeah. We don't do the whole back and forth.
The haggling.
The haggling, yeah. Nope, we're not going to do that to you.
You're not a used car salesman?
Nope.
Okay, so no obligation, fair cash proposal. What's the timeline? How quickly are we talking?
So once you accept our cash proposal, we move like lightning.
Right.
We're talking, in most cases, we can close in just 7 business days.
Wow.
Because we're the direct buyer and we're paying cash.
Yeah.
We don't have to deal with any of those delays that you normally get with, mortgage approvals and lenders and all that. We take care of all the paperwork. You get your money. It's that simple.
So 7 days.
7 days.
No realtor fees.
Right.
Because you guys are buying directly.
That's right. No realtor fees.
No closing costs either?
No closing costs. We handle the closing costs.
And you said as is.
As is.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
I feel like people hear that and they think, what does that really mean?
Yeah. No, it can sound a little scary.
Yeah.
But it's good news. It means you don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to do any repairs. You don't have to do any renovations. Doesn't matter what kind of shape your house is in. We'll take it. Whether it just needs a fresh coat of paint or it needs a full gut job.
You've seen it all.
We've seen it all.
All right. So as is fast cash.
As is fast cash.
7 days. Sounds pretty good.
It is pretty good.
I mean, if you're thinking about this, head over to sellthathousetome.com.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay, so we know how it works. Let's talk about the who.
Okay.
Who really benefits from this service?
So we see a lot of different people come to us, facing all sorts of situations.
Right.
But the common thread is they all need to sell their houses quickly.
Yeah.
And they need that cash. So, one scenario we see pretty often is homeowners who are, unfortunately facing foreclosure.
Yeah.
And this can be, a really difficult situation.
Of course.
A fast cash sale can be a real lifeline for them. It can help them get out from under that debt.
Right.
And avoid foreclosure, which can, really damage their credit.
And that can have long-term implications, right?
Absolutely.
So this is a way to...
It's a way to kind of get a fresh start.
Yeah, like a reset.
A reset. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one scenario. What else? What other kind of situations are we seeing?
Well, sometimes life throws you a curveball.
Yeah.
Divorce happens. And when it does, you often need to sell the house. But going through the traditional real estate process, when you're dealing with a divorce, it can be a nightmare.
Add stress to an already stressful situation.
Exactly. So we offer a way for people who are going through divorce to just sell the house quickly,
right?
Get the cash, and move on.
Start those new chapters.
Exactly.
Okay. What about, people who are relocating for a job?
Yeah, that's another one we see a lot.
Yeah.
You get that great job offer,
yeah,
but you got to be there in like a month. And you're sitting there, with a house.
Yeah.
You got to sell.
It's like, oh, no.
Yeah, and the traditional process, it just takes too long. So, we can guarantee a cash offer, a fast closing.
Yeah.
So you can just focus on the new job.
Right.
And not have to worry about your old house.
It's taken care of.
It's handled.
Okay.
Another one we see sometimes is inherited properties.
Yeah. What happens there?
So, somebody passes away, they leave a house to their heirs, and the heirs are, often not in a position to manage that property.
Right.
Maybe they live far away, maybe they've got their own houses, they don't want to deal with being a landlord.
Yeah.
So we can come in, we can buy that house for cash.
Okay.
It's a quick and easy way for them to liquidate that asset.
So you're saying you buy houses from people who have inherited a house.
Yeah.
I actually saw an article trending recently called Cash for Your Inherited House.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
I wonder if that's us.
Maybe. Could be. We do buy a lot of those.
All right. And then finally, the fixer-upper.
The fixer-upper. Oh.
Yes. What happens in that situation?
So a lot of times people inherit a house, or maybe they've just been living in their house for a long time, and it needs a lot of work.
Okay.
And they just don't have the time or the money to put into fixing it up. They're ready to move on. We're happy to take those houses off their hands. Right.
As is. Just like all the others.
So I'm thinking about Janice.
Yeah.
She left a testimonial for you guys, and she was in Telfair.
Right.
And she had inherited a house. It was a fixer-upper.
It was.
And she was just like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
So you guys bought it as is, and she was thrilled.
She was.
Okay. So we've talked about all these situations. When people come to you with these situations, are there any questions that you hear a lot? Like, what are people asking?
Yeah. So, people are naturally curious.
Yeah.
And they want to know more. So one of the most common questions we get is, how quickly can they get an offer?
Sure.
And as we've already talked about,
Yeah.
we can usually get you an offer within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And close in as little as 7 days.
That's amazing.
It is fast. Another question we get a lot is, are the offers fair? And the answer is absolutely they are.
Okay.
We base our offers on, a really thorough analysis of the Sugar Land real estate market.
We take into account the condition of your property.
Right.
And, we're not in the business of lowballing people.
Okay.
We want to give you a fair price so you can move on with your life. And then, of course, the other big question is, do I really not have to do any repairs?
Yeah.
And the answer is, nope, you don't. We buy your house as is.
So to be clear, you're not going to come in and then be like, oh, you're going to have to fix this and that. Like, that's not going to happen.
No, we buy it as we see it.
Okay, great. So we've talked about foreclosure and divorce. Those are sensitive situations.
And they are.
And it sounds like this can be like a really discreet, quick way to handle that.
Absolutely.
Without a lot of the normal fuss.
Yeah. We try to make it as easy and stress-free as possible.
Okay. So, we've talked a lot in generalities. Let's bring in some real people.
Okay.
You guys have some testimonials from people who've actually used your service. Let's talk about those.
All right. So we have Sarah P. from the Great Wood community in Sugar Land.
Oh.
and she needed to downsize quickly. You know, her kids had moved out. The house was just too big.
Right.
And she didn't want to deal with the hassle of misting it,
Yeah.
having a bunch of strangers traipsing through her house.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to give her a cash offer and close the sale really quickly. And she was so happy with the process. She told us that it allowed her to move on to her next chapter with, you know, just a lot less stress.
Yeah. So that's like the opposite of foreclosure or divorce. It's like, life is good.
Life is good.
I need to change things up,
Right.
but I still need to move quickly.
Okay.
Okay, what about Mike R?
Yeah, so Mike was in a different situation. He was relocating for a job
Okay.
out of the First Colony area, and he had a really tight timeline. He needed to sell his house fast. So he came to us, and he was really impressed with how fast we were able to make him an offer and how smoothly the whole closing process went. He said it just allowed him to focus on his new job and not worry about what was going on back in Sugarland.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Okay, and then there was Jen S. We talked about her a little bit.
Yeah, Jen.
She was in Telfair.
Telfair, that's right.
Fixer-upper, didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, she was really happy that we were willing to buy the house as is.
Yeah.
She said it saved her a ton of money and a ton of stress.
Right.
And she was able to get the cash she needed and move on.
And these are just like 3 examples.
3 examples.
You guys have helped so many people in Sugarland.
We have, yeah.
Now, we've been talking about Sugarland this whole time.
Right.
What about other areas around there? Like, say I'm not in Sugarland, but I'm like in the general area.
Yeah,
Can you guys still help me out?
absolutely. So we're not just in Sugarland.
Oh.
We buy houses all over the Houston metropolitan area.
All right.
So that includes Richmond, Rosenberg, Missouri City, Stafford,
Okay.
Katy, Pearland, and really all over Fort Bend County.
So if I'm anywhere in those areas,
Ryan's going to help me out.
we can.
Okay. So I'm in Katy, I'm listening to this. I'm like, all right, this sounds good, but how do I know I'm really going to get a fair offer?
Good question.
Like, you know, is there any pressure involved? I don't want to feel like I'm, you know, getting the hard sell.
No pressure at all. That's
Yeah.
not how we operate.
Okay.
We believe in transparency.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in being fair. So, you know, when we make you a cash proposal,
Yeah.
it's based on real data.
Go.
It's based on the current market conditions in your area. It's based on the condition of your property.
Yeah.
And there are no strings attached.
So I can get this proposal and then I can just be like, no, I'm good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're under no obligation to accept our offer.
Okay. All right. I feel better.
'Cause
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
we
I
have.
think we're coming up on the end here. What would you say is like the one thing that you really want our listeners to take away from all of this? If you're in Sugarland or anywhere in the Houston area, really, and you need to sell your house fast and you don't want to deal with the hassle of the traditional process, sell. That house to me is here for you. We offer a fast, fair, and hassle-free way to get cash for your house. It really is that simple.
So if you're like me and you're sitting here and you're like, all right, this is exactly what I need.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one place to go. Sell that house to Medicom. Head over there. See what your fair cash offer could be. You know, imagine the weight off your shoulders.
It's a relief.
You know, you can close in 7 days, have that cash, move on to the next thing. Whatever that looks like for you.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it could be a new chapter.
Yeah.
It could be just like relief from a stressful situation.
Right.
So don't wait. Head over to Sell That House to Medicom right now. Get that process started.
It could change your life.
All right. And that's it for this week's Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.